feel you're slow in learning the skill of tailoring? And do you wish there are ways in which you can increase your speed in learning the skill of tailoring? Well, today I'm going to give you 4 tips in which you can master tailoring fast. I'm going to highlight some things that is slowing your learning process and hampering you from learning the skill of tailoring fast. Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you get the first time notice of it. If you have any question, don't hesitate, hit me up in the comment section. I respond very fast. Many people spend years learning the skill of tailoring. They spend so many years, and at a point in time they feel as if they are not making any progress because they keep making the same mistakes and they keep battling on the same issue. Now, what can be the cause? Now, the first secret in which you can use to master the skill of tailoring is consistency. Now, one of the major issues I've discovered when it comes to people that are actually trying to learn the skill of tailoring is lack of consistency. Now, tailoring is a very jealous skill. Let me use that word. It's a very jealous skill. If you're learning the skill of tailoring, most times it's very difficult to combine that learning of that skill with other things. Let me give you an example. I was a teacher once. I was teaching in a secondary school. At the same time, that was when I enrolled to learn the skill of tailoring. So I usually go to work in the morning and I close by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So when I close from my workplace, I go to the fashion school where I was learning the skill of tailoring, and I made sure I went there daily. So sometimes after work, I'll be very exhausted because I would have entered different classes to teach different subjects. So I'll be very exhausted, but I made sure that I kept going to the fashion school daily. So I was consistent. One of the issues that most people have is lack of consistency. So like I said, tailoring is a very jealous skill. Now, tailoring is like a woman. It requires attention. So, and it's daily attention. Sometimes when you learn something in tailoring and you leave it for a while, it leaves you, especially if you're still at the learning stage. So it requires a lot of attention and consistency. So let's say you learn a new technique, maybe in cutting or in sewing, and you don't practice it and you don't come again and again to watch how it's being done, it leaves you. So one of the issues I see most people have when it comes to learning the skill of tailoring that slows their learning process down is lack of consistency. Sometimes I see people that come to learn the skill of tailoring, and let's say they come with a lot of zeal. They start today, they come as early as possible. Then as the days go by, you see that zeal drops. So sometimes you see they come on Mondays, they miss Tuesdays, miss Wednesdays, come on Thursdays, they miss Friday, come on Saturday. Now when you're learning like that, it slows the process down, because let's say you learn something on Monday and you refuse to come on Tuesday to practice and to watch how it's being done. On Wednesday, when you come, most likely that thing you learned on Monday would have escaped from your head. So lack of consistency is one of the major issues people have. Now, the second secret in which you can use to master the skill of tailoring fast is focus. Now, one of the issues I've seen most people have that wants to learn the skill of tailoring is lack of focus. Now, what do I mean? Now, when I was learning the skill of tailoring, I had a lot of good offers. I had a lot of good job offers. People wanting me to leave what I was doing to come and do a job for them. Now, I had job offers with very good allowances and very good incentives. But I'd already decided that this is what I want to learn, and I want to spend so and so amount of years learning this skill. So when those offers came, I rejected those offers and focused on what I planned on learning, which is the skill of tailoring. I had a job offer from a fashion house that wanted me to leave what I was doing and go and manage the fashion house for them. I rejected that offer with very good allowances and very good remuneration. I rejected that offer. So now, most people that plan on learning the skill of tailoring, when they decide that, okay, this is what I want to learn, when some other offers come that seem more juicy than what they are doing, they switch off and actually go the other way. Now, focus is very key. If you've decided that, okay, this is what I want to learn, and I want to learn it for so amount of months or so amount of years, it's good you focus on it and direct all your attention, all your energy, and all your time on learning that skill. Because sometimes when you decide on doing something noteworthy, other offers will come that will distract you from that part. Focus is very key. When you decide that this is what you want to do, it's good you focus on it. And when you place that focus, you place your attention, you place your time, you place your energy on it, it actually reaps rewards, even if it's not in the short term, in the long term. So focus is key, and avoid and reject distraction. The third secret to learn tailoring fast is learning. Now, what do I mean by learning? Now, some people, they enroll in a fashion school, or they take online classes, or they set out to learn the skill of tailoring, and they focus solely on what they are being taught. Now that's good. When you enroll in a fashion school or you are on an apprenticeship learning the skill of tailoring, it's good to learn what you are being taught. But you have to go the extra mile. You have to go and take further research, practice, and actually watch videos outside what you are being taught so that you expand your knowledge. So most times when you see people enrolling in a school to learn the skill of tailoring, they focus solely on what they are being taught. And sometimes if you're in an area or in a place where the teachings are limited, you are limited by what you are taught. Like me, for instance, I enrolled in a fashion school and I paid attention to what I was being taught. But most times when I get back home, YouTube was like a school to me back then. I subscribed to some tailoring channels. When I come back from the fashion school where I used to learn, I will come back and I'll log in on YouTube, watching tutorial videos, practicing some things, experimenting on fabrics, experimenting with different styles, and that was how I expanded my knowledge. Back then, I had no movies on my phone. If you go through my video list then, it was strictly tailoring tutorials. I was practicing, I was watching, I was learning daily. One of the secrets in which you can use to master tailoring fast is constant learning. You're learning from where you're learning from, you're going online, you're getting new ideas, you're reading tailoring books. I read a lot of tailoring books. I practiced some of their techniques. Some of them worked for me, some didn't. Those ones that didn't work, I experimented and I got what I wanted. To master the skill of tailoring fast, you need to learn constantly, learn daily. Now, the final reason why most people don't actually learn the skill of tailoring fast is lack of practice. Now, they say practice makes perfect. Now, I spoke about learning. Now, even when you learn and you don't practice, most times it actually skips from your head. How do I mean? Let's say you're learning how to sew a collar and you did it once, and maybe you're watching series of tutorial videos and you're watching how it's being done. You are learning, but you're not putting it into practice. I bet you, I just give you 2 days, 3 days, it skips from your head. If I give you that same thing to do again, you might not be able to do it. So learning, when you learn, you put it to practice. For example, now I give tutorials on tailoring, different aspects, different styles, how to cut and sew a trouser, how to cut a shirt. And you're watching it, you're consuming information, and you're not putting it into practice. Now, without doing that, you can get a bulk of information in your head, but if you don't practice it, it leaves your head. So you practice. Let's say you go and you learn how to sew a pocket, get scrap fabric or get a fabric and actually practice it, and practice it daily. Let's say you learn how to cut a trouser, you did it once, practice, get fabric and practice. You learn how, you watch a tutorial online like on this channel Loyasi on how to sew an English shirt. You watch it severally and you don't put it to practice. I bet you it will just be theory in your head. So it's a practice that actually makes it stick on your head. Now, as a tailor with more than a decade of tailoring experience, I've made thousands of trousers, I've made thousands of tops, I've made thousands of clothes. So because of that continuity of practice, so all these techniques are already stuck in my head. But when someone is just starting and learning the skill, it requires a lot of practice for it to actually stick. So I can show you step by step how to sew a particular style, maybe a pocket or a trouser, and you see it and maybe you see it and you practice once. If you don't continuously practice, I bet you it's going to leave your head. So practice makes perfect. So you continue practicing as you're learning, you're putting it into practice, and that's how it sticks in your head. Now, my online classes is coming up on the 10th of October 2024. Registration is ongoing. There are limited slots available, and there's also a time limited discount. Click on the link in the description to register quickly for the online course. Exclusive teachings on how to draft and cut an English shirt, how to cut and how to sew an English shirt from start to finish, and there's also going to be bonus tips on sewing.
Alright everybody, my name is Femi. You can also join the class, even me now, I'm also registering for the class. Loyasi to the world, my name is BOLUWATRFE. God understand, Femi. Any question of the day, Oya hit me.